Hi, my name is Carina and welcome to the Carina Chronicles. In this video I'm going to read books that I should have read already. While filming this it's the 9th of September and I should have finished 2 books on the 7th because I had a book club meeting and I didn't do that. So I'm reading them this week. So I really hoped I would make it, but I didn't make it. It was very much a shame, but no one actually read them and also no one actually liked them, which makes me kind of nervous. And I'm talking about A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske and The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angelina Bouley or something. I will put it on the screen or I will show you later in this vlog, that's even better. But I am going to read them. I read 2 books last week. My reading speed has been ridiculous. And I hope I can continue it this week and finish both of these books. So I am then back on track with this book club and can just continue in a normal way. Because I hate being behind with these. So A Marvellous Light is a queer romance book with a murder mystery. And I already started in it, well, like 1 chapter, 6 pages. And it was very confusing. So I hope that I'll like it. We'll see. Let's quickly start with it. Hi. So I'm actually starting in my next book. And that is... Okay, I need to grab it. And I'm sitting in such a weird position. But I'm actually going to start in A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske. And I should have done so before today, because yesterday we had the discussion of this book with the book club. So I failed, but no one was really impressed, which makes it maybe even less appetizing for me to start reading it. It's apparently very smutty. I never read smutty romance. I don't really like that. And there's also a murder in here and a mystery and there's a lot of queerness, which is nice. And I just really don't know what to expect. So going into it blind, it has like 370 pages. So that is quite alright. It is a fluffy paperback, let me show you. Some people really like that, I actually don't. But it is a pretty cover and I am glad, although I'm too late, that I finally start this book. So let's hope that I actually like it. Hi, it's time for quite some updates. And well, I don't even know where to start, but I think I'm just starting with the most important part, and that is of course the reading part, because this is again a reading vlog. So I am reading A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske. And it's getting me into a reading slump, but I don't know if it's because of the book or just because my great reading mood is over. Because I do have less time and it always helps for me when I can read big parts after each other. Then I get really into the mood and I really want to pick it up another time. And now I only have time for like 1 chapter. And then I need to put it down again and it doesn't really get me into the story. I can't really say that I don't like this book because I'm only 20 pages in, but it just doesn't pique my interest in any rate. And I am so spoiled by all the great books I've read the last weeks, actually last months maybe even. I literally loved almost everything I've read, and the books that I didn't love, I still felt great that I've read them because now I can talk about them because they were so popular or something. And this is just a book that everyone seems to feel meh about, so I don't really know why I'm reading this. But well, we were reading it for a book club and that is quite a good reason to pick it up. I should have finished it already, so that also doesn't help. I know we're not going to discuss it again, but it's nice to have read all the books that we're actually reading with this book club, otherwise I feel like a scam. I mean, I am also voting in which books we're reading So at least I should put the effort in actually reading them. It is a quick read, I would say. Today when I'm filming this, I have a free day, a day off. Well, this just means that I need to work on the weekend, so it's not really a day off. But in the weekend I always have a lot of plans, and today that is alright. I need to film a video for today to come up actually, and also for next week, Wednesday, I'm also already planning on filming. It's quite late on the day already because I have such sore muscles from my soccer training that I just couldn't get myself out of bed. So I did some things with mailing and stuff, but the filming part still needs to happen, and I'm finally out of bed. And I also wanted to visit my grandmother today. And tonight I have a work celebration, I think, at dinner. So actually I do not have that much time to read, but I'm going to try to at least get into this book. I now know for sure that I won't be able to finish the Firekeeper's Daughter this vlog as well. So that one will be for next vlog. I'm a little bit more excited about that one, so that's something. But talking about that book club, because both A Marvellous Light and The Firekeeper's Daughter are for that book club, so I wanted to read them so that I'm back on track and can read our autumn read together. And for the autumn read, we all needed to hand in 2 books that we would like to read, and then we were going to give points to the books, and the book with the most points would win. And there were so many good contestants that I didn't even think of. So it was for kind of like a spooky Halloween kind of read, but you could see very broad. And Good Omens was in there by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. And The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood was in there. Well, just a lot of books that I actually really liked. But in the end, the book with the most points was a book that I actually submitted. So I'm really happy about that. And that is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. And this book has been on my TBR forever, but I always try to read it with book clubs, and book clubs are always excited about this book, and then it becomes second in a voting. So I really didn't expect it to be first this time. I bought it immediately. I'm so excited. This book sounds so interesting and perfect for Halloween. There is a murder mystery, but the investigator, the person that needs to investigate this murder, wakes up every time in another body of one of the suspects, actually, and they need to figure out what happened. Otherwise, he keeps waking up in another body. So that is interesting, right? And I've heard so many great things about it. And one of the funniest things is, this is also why I wanted this copy. This is the American copy, because in the United Kingdom, it's still called The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. But in the United States, they didn't approve that title because it was too close to The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And it had nothing to do with that. The genre is not at all compatible. And it is just really, really funny that 2 people separately came up with a title that is so similar. Because The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle is just like it's one series. So I just really wanted to read both of them, and I love The 7 Husbands. So I hope I'm also going to love The 7.5 Deaths. So yes, really excited about this book, but I need to finish A Marvellous Light and A Firekeeper's Daughter first, because those were first on this book club. And the next meeting will be on the 1st of November, so I have the rest of September and the whole of October to read this book, and I'm definitely planning on finally being in time, because this was my pick and I've been waiting, dying for this to be chosen. So yes, definitely going to read this. And in the meantime, I've also been in the national newspaper of the Netherlands, which was really fun. I got a lot of comments on it. a lot of people really liked it. It was an interview and I needed to recommend 5 books and talk about some other books that I have liked recently. The books that I recommended, to be honest, I haven't even read. That was not a problem when they interviewed me, because I needed to recommend 5 books that were published within the month I was interviewed, and that is quite intense. 5 books that are published within like 2 weeks notice. That it was like undoable, but they knew that, and that is usually the case for the people they interview. It's just your bookstore seller, you know what to do. You need to sell those books, because it's still like an honest opinion, because you really listen to what the customers say about those books, and then you create an opinion. You probably read like the synopsis and some parts of the book, how it's written, and then you try to give your customers a good view of the book and who might like it and who might not like it. So the same I did in this interview, and I recommended 5 books. And it's funny because in our shop they actually we sold a lot of copies of those books now, so that is really nice, and it's just nice that I got a lot of comments. I will put the article on the screen now. If you're Dutch, you can read it. And if you're not, you can see how it looks like. It will be only up for like 5 seconds, so if you want to read it, you need to pause the video. So that was fun. And also something completely random that I noticed, but that I thought was fun and I wanted to share, was that I always post my reviews of books on Goodreads and on Instagram. And on Goodreads, sometimes people like them, like literally, physically, like, click the like button. And I didn't know that counted as like a vote for you as best reviewer. I don't think other people know that, but because I've read so many books recently and people like my reviews, I actually got a lot of votes apparently. And suddenly on my Goodreads profile, it was like that I was the number 50 of best Dutch book reviewers. And I really thought that was funny. And I don't know, I just think it's really nice that people like my reviews. Although it's usually like 3 people or something, but it's something. Apparently it's good enough to come into the top 50. That's probably because other people don't write reviews, but you know what I mean. People could actually look up like the best reviewers of the Netherlands and then find me to look what I thought about books, and I really liked that I found that out. So yes, I wanted to share that as well. I think that those are all my updates. I'm going to film some videos now, so I hope that I will have some spare time to read A Marvellous Light. And that in this vlog I can still tell you that, oh, I was wrong. I really love this book. I really hope I can manage to do that, but we'll see. Hi. So before I end this vlog, I wanted to share 2 more things with you. And the first thing is that I, of course, hold another book. Are we surprised? I don't think so. The last book I hold was The 7.5 Husbands. No. This mistake was obviously about to happen. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. And I'm really happy with that book, and I'm reading it for one book club. And with the other book club we also had a meeting. We were discussing Wormaan by Marieke Heitman, and I also read for the book club The Redemption of Time by Baushu. So we had a lot to discuss, and we were all very excited about Wormaan, which is interesting because a lot of people that buy the book in the bookstore are not so excited. So it's apparently a very divisive opinion on this book, but I really liked it, and all of the people in my book club did, so that's great. But then we needed to decide on a new book as well. And we always read from authors from different countries. And we've read, I think, around 25 books now. And we are still succeeding in that. The only exceptions are from the United States, but then we have from different states, so not any author has been from the same state. And we have multiple Dutch authors because, of course, we are Dutch, so we should here and then support a Dutch author. And we were looking for a country that we hadn't had yet, from which we had an author we would be interested in. And then I was like, wait, did we read something from India yet? And we didn't, so we decided we should read something from Salman Rushdie to support him after being attacked for what he wrote. And we let one person decide which book because we were interested in all of them, but without any doubt, the book that is most popular that he has written and has had the most amazing critics, even won the Booker of Bookers prize, is Midnight Children. And that's the one we chose, although it's 650 pages, so it's not the easiest read. I am so excited to read this and to see if I can understand why this is one of the most famous literature books that exist. I'm so excited, and I love the copy that I have. I have to admit that I paid a little more to get this copy because it's so pretty. So yeah, it could have been in my purple recommendations video, but yeah, I didn't have it by then. So that is the first thing I wanted to share. And the other thing I wanted to talk with you about is going to be a big spoiler for Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. So if you haven't read the book or watched the movie yet and you plan on doing so, please don't watch this part. I will put spoiler on the screen, and until when you can skip or mute me to see the rest of the video, although it will only be outro after this. But please don't watch it because you will get spoiled and you will not forget this spoiler. So this is your chance. Okay, so I've read some controversy about Delia Owens, the author of Where the Crawdads Sing, because of Shelley, who commented on my video of last Wednesday about this book and movie adaptation, that she was not going to read the book because of the controversy. So I read about it. And apparently, I had read already that the book is very autobiographical. And I had just assumed that that was about the nature, and that Delia Owens also grew up in the marsh, and that she also was looked upon a little bit weird and stuff like that. That a lot of that was indeed from her own experience. What I didn't know was that she is actually a suspect of a murder. Just as in the book. I didn't know that, and that's so weird, and I just can't get my head around that you would write an autobiographical novel, admit that it's autobiographical, and then, while you're a suspect of a murder, let a murder take place in your book and make the big plot twist of your book that the main character in the end is guilty. I mean, that's just so weird, and that will definitely not help your case. I am so confused. I'm so confused. Why would you do that? That is just, I don't know. I didn't know. If I would have known, I might have not read the book, but well, I did. So I can't change that, and also made the video. I'm actually happy I did, because a lot of people read the book and watch the movie anyway, so yeah. It's nice to give them some information on that, but I'm glad I know now, and I'm curious to see how this trial will end. Yeah, so weird. Okay, I just needed to share that with you. And that is actually it for this video. Did I do any reading? No. Is that a surprise? Actually, yes. For a change, that is a surprise. There were a lot of weeks this year that went the same as this one. But the last 5-6 weeks, I read so many things that I thought it would never go away. But I think I read 20 pages this week and I'm not yet convinced about A Marvellous Light. I'm going to try to read a little bit after I edit this video, but I will have like 20 minutes before I need to go to bed. So I hope next week will be better. I do have some time then and I want to finish quite some books next week to be able to finish all the books I wanted to read in September, because actually there are quite some books that I really need to finish because I promised in any way, and there are a lot of books I want to read in October as well, so I'll just need to step up my game. But this was it. I hope you liked this video anyway. And if you did, please leave a like. Leave down in the comments below what you've been reading. Do you have a great reading month or how is it going? And if you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I hope you'll have a lovely day filled with books and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! I keep on hauling books. It's ridiculous and it's embarrassing, but I can't help myself. There's also a very pretty book coming next week, an order coming in. So, well, I'll just have to show you that then.